Welcome to the Bitcoin Transition. Bitcoin Essentials Course Module 1, Lesson 4. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This course is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Pause the video here if you'd like to read the full disclaimer in detail. What is Bitcoin and why does it matter? In 2008, as the world plunged into the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, an anonymous figure or group named Satoshi Nakamoto quietly published a white paper online. It was titled, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This wasn't just a new form of digital money. It was a direct response to government bailouts, banking failure, and the broken logic of our current financial system. On the right side of the screen, you'll find a condensed version of the white paper. You can search for it on Google, download it, and read it for yourself. It takes approximately 20 minutes to read. For decades, our economies have been built on Keynesian economics. The belief that growth can be engineered through government spending, low interest rates, and monetary expansion. When the economy slows, print more money. Stimulate demand. Repeat. But here's the problem. It encourages debt and deficit spending, not discipline. It erodes savings through inflation, pushing people to gamble just to keep up. And it leads to constant boom and bust cycles, artificial highs, followed by devastating crashes. Austrian economics. Thinkers like Ludwig von Mises and Friedrich Hayek argued for sound money, free markets, and limited intervention. They believed that true prosperity comes from saving, investing, and letting markets self-correct, not from manipulating interest rates or bailing out failure. And that's where Bitcoin enters the scene. If you're finding this helpful, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. It might seem small, but every like, comment, and subscriber helps boost the algorithm and spread this message further. Everything here is shared freely, with the hope of bringing more peace and prosperity to the world through Bitcoin education. Your support truly makes a difference. How does Bitcoin work? Bitcoin runs on a blockchain, a public, distributed ledger where every transaction is recorded and verified by a global network of computers known as nodes. There's no CEO, no company, and no single point of failure. Instead of relying on trust, Bitcoin relies on maths and code. And how are new Bitcoins created? They're produced through a process called mining, where specialized computers solve complex cryptographic equations to secure the network and add new transactions to the blockchain. When a miner successfully completes a block, they're rewarded with new Bitcoins. But here's the brilliant part. The halving. Built-in scarcity. Roughly every 4 years, that mining reward is cut in half in an event called a halving. This happens automatically by design. It's what gives Bitcoin its predictable, deflationary supply curve. In 2009, miners received 50 BTC per block. In 2024, the block reward was reduced to just 3.125 BTC, and by the year 2140, no more new Bitcoins will ever be issued. That's the fixed cap. 21 million Bitcoin. No stimulus, no printing, no inflation. Now compare that to fiat currency. Governments can print as much as they want, whenever they want. Inflation isn't just possible, it's guaranteed. But with Bitcoin, you know exactly how much will ever exist. You know the schedule, and no one can change it. Bitcoin versus traditional banking. When you use Bitcoin, you don't need a bank. You don't need permission. You don't need to trust anyone. Your funds are secured with cryptographic proof not backed by political promises or debt-ridden institutions. Bitcoin represents the first monetary system in history that enforces discipline through code. It gives individuals the power to save, transact, and build without relying on middlemen or monetary manipulation. It's the antidote to inflation, the alternative to centralized failure, and the foundation for a future built on truth, transparency, and economic freedom. If you're finding this valuable, you'll love the full Bitcoin Essentials course, completely free, over at thebitcointransition.org. Inside, you'll get structured lessons, downloadable resources, bonus content, and everything you need to start living on a Bitcoin standard. Head to thebitcointransition.org and get started today for free.